I've done ceilings, I've done plastering.
Sorry, you said you've done ceilings. What does done ceilings mean? Afternoon. How is everyone?
Back in the UK.
Good,
Yes.
good.
Back.
Yeah.
Oh,
We've never left, but you know.
Oh my goodness, I know. I'm sorry, girls. I'm sorry. But
Did you have a lovely getaway?
It was a really lovely break, absolutely amazing. And you know, as well as having a great break, I learned a couple of really important things while I was away. I suppose you have like light bulb moments.
Okay.
And this was more like a sort of a bra bulb moment, because I've got to tell you now, this is, I think, girls, I think Harriet and Sherry, you probably, I know that you know this, right, already, but I just wanted to remind you, and to everyone watching us today, I thought actually it could be very enlightening, like it was to me. And this was because Ms. Arnold kept looking at me quizzically, going, I like that dress. And I said, what's wrong? What's wrong? And she said, look, I'm going to have to be on it. I'm going to have to level with you, because it's really, you know how I love to sort of Debbie people. They call it Debbieing people, because she likes to sort of get people spruced up, don't you, darling? Because you're so wonderful like that. Anyway, she said to me, your boobs are really low, and that's really aging. So, I mean, you know, say what you mean, darling. You know what I mean? Cut to the chase.
He doesn't sit on the fence.
Don't beat about the bush. And so she started hitching up my bra. And my boobs were so like, where they were down here before, they were up, you know, poking people in the eye.
Are you saying they were on your knees and now they're under your chin? Is that what you're saying?
That's right.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, anyway, one last thing, right. So Debbie said to me, now look, I'm going to show you how to actually put a bra on. How do you do it? So I said, well, I sort of do it up at the front, then do it round and then put it on. She said, no, you don't do that. So what you do is this, right?
Oh.
You get your boobs, right? And you put them into the cup like that. And then you do it up at the back, okay?
You lean
and
into
then
it.
You lean, oh, thank you, yes. I've nearly forgotten. And then the straps, you have to really hike them up, okay? So then your boobs go up and actually, voila, you lose about 20 years.
There you go.
It's not that, because you actually then get a rib cage as opposed to your boobs being down here and everything goes together.
True.
But my mother, and Harriet, you always wear very good bras, don't you? Because you talk about Rigby and Pella.
Darling,
But
you to the converted.
Sherry, do you put your bra around your waist?
I don't need a bra.
That's really rude.
I'm sure you wear one occasionally.
Yeah, but I don't really need it. And you know, and I have good bras, but I don't really. It doesn't. This conversation does not apply to me.
Oh, excuse me. Well, you know when you said lean into it, can I just say, you know when you said lean into it,
yes.
What you don't have is special ladles, you see. I have ladles which help levitate the extra bits into my bra, a bra ladle. So I don't know what...
Ladles, right.
Yeah.
You could
Spoons, pulleys,
you
ropes
could
and
use,
pulleys.
Harriet, a
What, darling?
ladle. You could use a ladle.
Yes.
Or scoop it up.
Yeah, ladle in, and then
Ladle
But
it.
the thing is, if you, I think with a lot of women, if they have, if they have a sort of a middle that they think is very sort of, getting fat around the middle, if your bust is higher, then you don't, then that looks less.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Do you? Well, I suppose all of you do because you've got things. But do you go and have like a fitted place? Like
yes,
I
darling.
know my size, but Harriet does. You go to Rigby and Pella, don't you?
There's a Rigby and Pella, which you could be in 3 duffel coats and a thick jumper, and the girls at the door will look at you and know what size you are, what you should be wearing. Yeah, they're amazing. But I'm going to move on from bras, if I may, just to say, what the hell has happened to the weather? Because all my apples have fallen from the tree, and that's not a euphemism. And the leaves are falling. The leaves are falling, and we've got thunder. And this morning at the crack of dawn, I was out with the dog. It was sunny, and now we've got gloom and doom and thunder, and it's like autumn. And it's like, no, we can't be in autumn already. How can summer have gone in this?
Actually, I nearly wrote in. I was watching the television this morning and said, "Could somebody tell me where the weather has gone?"
Yes.
Why do we not have any summer? Who took it away? The government. It was the government that did it.
Government
Did
took
it
it away.
away.
But now,
I was going to say,
girls,
who
actually,
did you
we do
write
have
to?
something- We do have something to brighten our afternoon, though.
Good.
We do have, coming to see us and flying in the nest and has just landed, is the gorgeous, fantastic, ageless Diane Keen.
Oh,
hello, darling Di. Are you
Hey
there?
girls, how are you?
Hey.
Hello, my darling. I'm so thrilled to see you. We had lovely adventure together last year, didn't we?
We did. Yeah.
We laughed. We
We
laughed
did
a lot.
laugh a lot. And we kind of worried a lot at some points, but nevertheless, we drank a lot.
That's a departure.
And
Good
we did
girl.
have fun, and it was a lovely saga cruise, which sadly are no more at the moment,
No.
which is so sad. But apparently, I heard one of the girls said just before we started the show that there was one cruise that went today for the first time, but it's not saga.
Yeah, that was
I think
me.
it's another line.
That was me.
Oh, sorry, Sherry.
It was advertised. It was this morning, I think I saw it, and they were saying one cruise ship has gone out. So maybe maybe this is the beginning of something, but it's would you go on it? Would
That's
you
the
go on a
thing.
cruise?
Yeah. Would you go back in the gym as well? That's
Yeah.
the other thing. I'm not sure because my
I don't.
gym's pretty open.
That is assuming that we go to the gym. Just saying.
Yes.
I am
What's that?
Actually do. I'm a good girl, I am.
Good girl.
I am so unfamiliar with the gym that I call it James.
Well, yes. I just call it
Yeah.
Di,
Diane.
tell us, what have you been doing during lockdown?
What did I do during lockdown? Oh, well, actually, the funniest thing. Last year, I was asked by a lovely director called Jason Figgers, who is an Irish director, wonderful, got in touch with me out of the blue right at the beginning of the year. Or no, maybe it was the Christmas before, and said, look, I'm such a huge fan and I'd like to write a film for you. Would you be interested? So, of course, I said no. What's your address? Where do you live? So anyway, he eventually, a year later, he wrote it and got in touch with me and sent the script, and it's just wonderful. And it's called Burr's Dragon, set in Suffolk.
Wow.
So, of course, it's been all put on the back burner because of COVID and lockdown. So then he gets in touch with me right at the beginning of lockdown. He says, "No, look," he said, I wondered if you'd like to do a little short, just as a little project during lockdown." So I said, "Of course, at least you're doing your job, even though there's no money
Exactly.
involved." And it's something, anyway, he sent this sort of the script and we all fiddled around with it a bit. And he said, I've asked a lovely Irish actress called Mary Murray. It's a two-hander. It's about a mother who has gone off to Florida to see her sister for a break after her husband has died, and she's, a bit of time's gone by and she feels ready, she can go out into the world. So off she went to Florida to see her sister. Meanwhile, lockdown happens. So it's a Zoom call between them. And it's full of surprises, and it's only like 8.5 minutes long. And anyway, I got in touch with Mary and we rehearsed on Zoom every day. So we went into the rehearsal room every day. And it was great. We played around the script and we checked with Jason and all the rest of it. And eventually we then filmed ourselves at home on our iPhones.
Yeah.
And we sent all the material to Jason and he edited it, and it's called The Wedding Ring. And if you please excuse me, I have to put my glasses on for this because I haven't heard of any of these, but anyway, it has now been nominated and accepted by 3 festivals.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Unbelievable. The first one you may have is called the Liftoff Global Sessions 2020 in association with Pinewood Studios. And the second one is the second Free Independent Film Weekend Awards in Germany. And the third one is the 11th Underground Cinema Short Film Awards in Ireland. They're coming up soon. And
Fantastic.
I know. How exciting.
Congratulations, darling. That is amazing.
Amazing.
Who knew? Yeah. So actually, you just think this is a little project just to keep me busy, and who knows where it can go. That's why, like, you know, you guys doing this is amazing.
I want to know, Diane, all the different shows. You are such a talented, amazing, versatile actress. And I adored you on Doctors and adored you in everything you've done. Is there something particularly that is your favourite going back over your whole career? What have you enjoyed? Or is it everything?
No. As you well know, girls, you don't enjoy everything.
So true.
But generally speaking, do you know, as far as telly is concerned, I suppose I could say the Cuckoo was, because it was such fun, and it was written by Geoffrey Lancashire, who is Sarah's dad. So Sarah was just a tiny little girl then, and she used to come into the recordings in the studio with her mum and all her siblings, and they were all terribly small. And of course, he could be quite difficult, but he was a genius at the way he wrote these quirky scripts. I mean, you couldn't go wrong with it, really.
Yeah.
And so that I did have, that was lovely. But you know what? I did Beautiful with Carole King musical in the West End, as you know, for a year. I think that was probably the most fulfilling and happiest jobs I've done. And,
I loved Carole King.
And it was
a brilliant musical.
But I've never done a huge West End musical before. I mean, I've done musicals, but I've never done a West End one. And the difference between a play and a musical is like being on another planet. And it's just the most extraordinary experience. And it was full of wonderful, wonderful human beings. Because usually in a job, you get maybe one that's a bit tricky, or, you know, causes a bit of a problem. And, you know, but there was not one person. Happiest show ever.
So is there something you've learnt to do that's different in lockdown? Have you suddenly found you're making jam or something? Or are you doing, is there anything where you're I mean, we're all Zooming and things like that. What have you done?
Do make jam.
We do all accept food parcels, so that's not a problem. Wow. So what have you done?
Well, you know, when you get to the point where your strawberries are not quite nice enough to eat, but they're not quite bad enough to throw away.
Yes.
I just slapped them all. Whenever it was like that in the fridge, I just whacked it into a pan, put some honey in it. I didn't make proper jam because I can't lay claim to that, but it did like a rather thick coulis. So I spread it all over my toast for several days till it was gone. I got a bit fed up with it after a while, but then I just thought, I'm making jam. But Melissa, my daughter, you know Melissa, who all live together, said, "Mum, it's not jam." I said, "Well, it's jam. It is to me." So but yeah, I have. I mean, I've done a lot of DIY, which I've really got into, you know. And then
what have you done?
I've done ceilings. I've done plastering.
Ooh. Sorry, you said you've done ceilings. What does done ceilings mean, darling? What the hell are you talking about? You've done a ceiling.
What, painted them?
You mean hanging from? Oh, that's a chandelier, isn't it?
Yeah.
No,
that's a different show.
That's a different show.
Oh, sorry. Oh, that's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, some of them are quite cracked. It's an old house, and so you have to get up there and scrape it all off, and then fill it, and then you have to sand it smooth. You try sand with a sander up like that. I mean, I used to come up down the ladder just looking like a ghost. But it was great fun.
Miss Havisham.
Great sense.
Diane, can I just say, on my, you know, in the lockdown, there's been some really bad down days, but on my down days and on my kind of, you know, wanting to feel good days, I go to Shillingbury Tales and I have it on a loop because it just makes me feel.
Isn't it?
I mean, Robin Nedwell, I didn't know Robin, but I adored him.
Yeah, I know. Bless him.
Jack Douglas was one of my oldest friends, and you were wonderful in it. And I don't know, was it as great to make as it looked?
It really was. It really, really was. And that's another one, actually, funnily enough, Harriet was asking me about. But we did the movie first before they went on to do the series. And I just had to keep pinching myself every day when I realised I was working with Trevor Howard. I mean,
I know.
The legend, you know.
I know. He was incredible. And he was quite late on in his career, wasn't it, that?
Yeah, but what an absolute sweetheart he was. He was an absolute joy to work with. But they were all crazy, weren't they? All those lovely comedians and people that have been around such a long time.
Such a lovely story too, wasn't it? And particularly the ending, of course, you know.
And nobody got shot or killed or raped or...
No, nothing. Just a good
nothing bad
story.
You know, it's not
That's
like
lovely.
everybody dies, but you know, nobody got hurt or anything. Really. Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. Diane, you mentioned your daughter, and you've got a granddaughter, Sienna. Is her name Sienna? And she was playing your actual granddaughter in Doctors, wasn't she? How was that? Yes, was that lovely working with your family?
She was 6 when she started, just before her 6th birthday, I think it was. And she did it on and off for 2 years, And because she always calls me Nadi, because that's the name she's always called me, and it's sort of it's got some Marseille in it. And she calls me Nadi. They decided that her character would call me Nadi on the show.
Oh,
so,
lovely.
you know, it really wasn't too difficult for us both. It was lovely,
Oh, fantastic. That's brilliant. So you just got the one granddaughter, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. That one's enough. Yes. We admit now to being grandparents, but we call I know that
I've got 3.
Yeah.
I've got 2.
Wonderful,
Dee's got 3. Harriet's
I don't have one yet, but my daughter has got a dog, so I'm a dog ma, and I'm working towards, hopefully, that she'll have children at some point.
2-legged one, yes.
And
I don't mean a kangaroo.
Well, do you not? Oh, okay. Clarity there then.
Have you got a doggy at the moment?
No, a doggy died. Little doggy died. She was so young. It was Melissa's dog, little Coco. She was only 2 and she had kidney failure.
Yeah.
Well, we do have a cat who thinks it's a dog, Itchimus.
Oh.
Yes. And she rules the place. Just literally rules.
They do, don't they?
What's her name? What's her name, darling?
Itchimus.
Itchimus.
Look at this, darling. I've got a cat spoon. Can you see that?
I love it. Oh, I love your cup. Oh,
but I've got a little cat.
That's gorgeous.
I've got a couple of cats, and they're 16, but they rule the house anyway, no matter what.
Yeah.
Sherry's got guinea pigs.
Oh, there she is.
Oh, she's gorgeous.
Itchimus, hi.
Hi.
Would you think about having a rescue, Diane?
A rescue cat or dog?
Dog.
I would think, yes, I would. I look at those, oh, geez, I get caught up in them all the time. You know, there's things on Facebook. And I think to myself, scroll on, don't watch it, because they're just too sad. And I sit there sometimes for half an hour, breaking my heart. And I think, I can't rescue everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the way to go.
I do.
Puppies.
Well, there was something in the paper yesterday about, you know, from the Dogs Trust saying more and more dogs now, people are coming out of lockdown, more and more dogs have been, you know, wanting to give them back. So there are quite a lot of rescues.
Are there?
So now's the time, I think, because I'm looking for one too. So
are you a puppy?
Yeah. So phone me and let me know if you are, because we'll look together.
Oh yes, all right.
Yeah.
We've got some pretty good places down here as well. I mean, Hampshire.
Great. Hampshire. Yeah.
I say. Well, Di, it's been gorgeous to see you.
You too.
We
will chat.
Are we allowed to get together now?
We are. Well, yes, I think so.
Socially distanced.
Yes.
Socially distanced.
2 feet away.
Yes.
I'll give you a socially distanced phone call and we'll make a socially distanced arrangement to meet.
Yes.
Fabulous. I'll talk to you about rescues, darling.
Oh, all right. Yes,
Bye.
Let's do that.
Let's do that.
Lovely to see you,
darling.
Thank you,
Bye.
Stay safe.
Bye.
Thank you, and you. Bye.
Wow.
That's a lovely lady.
A lovely lady.
Gorgeous lady.
Wasn't that amazing though, to do that film on Zoom and rehearse it and then get nominated for all those awards?
Way
There you
forward.
go.
Brilliant. So
You see?
fantastic.
What? Now the thing is, are we not up for an award?
No.
Well,
Not yet,
Not
Sherry.
yet.
Not yet.
I think we could create our own awards.
Yes, and then give them to
At the
ourselves.
ball.
Perfect.
So,
And give ourselves awards. Why didn't we think of that? Yeah.
ourselves first, of course.
Yeah.
So, and you can just say the best panelists on the show are all of us four, and we all win an
That's
award.
right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Done
Perfect.
deal, man. Done deal.
I think
That's a great idea.
What's happening Wednesday, please?
Will, now this is interesting. Will Beck from Casualty is coming, and he plays Dylan in Casualty, and he's fabulous.
Yeah.
But Sherry doesn't watch any hospital dramas. Do they upset you? Did it start when you were a kid, Sherry? Or
I don't know what it is about it. I think it's just hospitals. I just get a thing about it. So I don't watch them, and it's really weird. I've always had a thing about it.
Did you watch Dr. Kildare?
Don't get it.
Did you ever watch Dr. Kildare?
No, although I did work with him, but not on Kildare, obviously, because it's slightly older. But no, didn't watch that.
I loved it. What did you work with him on?
Slipper in the Rose, the film, The Slipper in the Rose. He was just the most beautiful man I've ever met in my life.
Absolutely.
He was beautiful.
As a little girl, do you remember Dr. Kildare? Do do do.
Yes.
Absolutely. They used to stop.
No, that's where it came from. That
Do do
Oh,
do
yeah.
do
Oh,
do.
yeah.
I loved it.
Oh, Debbie's singing. It's time to go. Okay, I'll see you on Wednesday. When she starts singing theme tunes, you know we have to leave.
Yes.
Bye. Bye.